Give me a brief amount of time just to make sure everything's set up so that I can see the comments, if any, if anybody tunes in. As always, I'm honored and blessed to have each and every one of you who tune into the live and not only tune in but participate, share your ideas, and put in that positive energy as positivity over negativity. And it really is a special thing that we're starting to do here. But today we're going to go over, as the CPI came out today, it came out at 3% year over year. So, I mean, if you average that out, it's over the 2%. Yes, it's down for the lowest level in like 2 years, but the point is inflation's still getting worse. They're printing a whole bunch of money. And this can only go one way. As we've seen today, commodities had a nice day. But just like with everything else, it's hard to tell, is this going to be a sustained run for commodities? Or is this going to turn into something more? Just give me just a split second longer. I know I'm on at a different time, but I wanted to get this going here as well. So I do appreciate everybody who's tuning in. We're just about to get rolling with this. I'm going to do the intro here, as now I have everything set up. YouTube's letting me do what I need to do. Beautiful. Okay. Good mid-afternoon. 4:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, July 12th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're tuning in after the live, I greatly appreciate you. I'm just going to go through this right now as if, just as a normal standard operating procedure. And if we get anybody to tune in during the live, we can have a little bit of back and forth. But if not, I'll just do this as a normal update. And I like to build it through the community. So I greatly appreciate anybody watching after the live. Make sure you hit that like button, whether you're watching during the live or after, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics and give the YouTube a reason to push my content. So, as we can see with XRP still, let's let this load in. In the daily, we've had that bearish cross, as we know. We haven't really gone anywhere in the last several days. In the 4 hourly, we failed to hold the 20-day support. Now we could be coming back down here to the uptrending support at about the 461 level. XRP needed to get back above that 471 level and then ultimately the 48 cents to invalidate the bearish cross in the daily. And we know the weekly, if we can hold this level for a few more days and then ultimately try to push up at some point, we can come down to right about where we're at right now at the 464 level. And that would still be enough to hold for a weekly cross on XRP. So that's something we are very closely paying attention to, because this could play out to be a massive bear flag on XRP. But we're looking for this I'm doing this in the 2 hour time frame right now. So that's where I'm watching it. And in the short term, we started to have a bullish cross, but as you can see, we've fallen through. Hasn't been a ton of volume, but there was definitely more sell volume than buy volume. So that's definitely something to pay attention to. But I wanted to go over this real quickly. This is just some of the things I've heard talked about today. And then I just was reading different articles, and I just happened to come across this, and it said XRP surge imminent, price facing massive squeeze. So I hinted at that in the headline or the title for today's live. So it's Colin, welcome in. Sean Crothers, good afternoon, my friend. I just came on, Sean, literally, I just came on. I know for a fact that it's not alerting anybody, so if you found your way here, I greatly appreciate you more than you know. JW, welcome in. Great to see the ones who are here so far. So, you today is facing a crucial moment. XRP is facing a crucial moment. Per the recent chart analysis, the XRP price is getting squeezed between two significant trend lines, creating a symmetrical triangle pattern. This pattern often leads to a sharp price movement, indicating that a surge might be on the horizon for XRP. The longer trend line is currently acting as a robust support level, while the shorter run poses a resistance The convergence of the two trend lines has resulted into a symmetrical triangle, which typically precedes a breakout. The XRP price, currently standing at 47 cents, is trading at the heart of this triangle, and that's what I showed you at the beginning of this. That triangle that I formed, the symmetrical triangle. You've got the price converging here. I'll show you real quickly. We've been, pull this out into the 4 hourly. This is that short-term pattern that we're in. We've got the downtrending resistance, uptrending support, and the price is converging right now. And we still can come down to that 462, 461, but the overextension here, everyone is saying that the LBRY case outcomes may be a signal for XRP. Well, everybody's getting ahead of themselves. See, I did an update this morning on just that with the LBRY case. And the bottom line for me is I read what it said. And it's a bunch of nothing sauce right now. The judge didn't really do anything. The judge didn't even rule on anything. Just refused to say whether it was or wasn't a security. So, basically, it was a nothing burger so far. Sean said, I want to buy more XRP, waiting for 40 cents. But, yeah, I mean, it's possible we get under there. But right now, we've got a little bit of the uptrend here. We still got the symmetrical triangle as we're inside of. Frenchy, just a bunch of FUD. I get them. Thank you for... Yep. I think it's a bunch of FUD, personally. Come on in. Welcome in from London. I'm surprised any of you have found the channel today. I always greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Force YouTube to share my stuff. Here, let me continue reading this real quickly. The trading volume is in a declining phase. This diminishing volume could indicate a lower trading interest in the current price range, possibly leading to a price breakout to attract more trading activity. The relative strength index, RSI, a crucial momentum indicator, is hovering around the neutral 50 mark. This positioning does not give a distinct bullish or bearish bias, but instead suggests that the market is waiting for a stronger price signal before deciding the direction. Furthermore, XRP's price is caught between the 50-day and the 200-day exponential moving average. EMA is another telltale sign of a brewing price squeeze. The 50-day EMA often acts as a short-term trend line, while the 200-day EMA is a reliable gauge for the longer-term market direction. So, and then it goes into Cardano, but I'm not going to read into the Cardano stuff. But that's what's going on with XRP. It just further shows this little squeeze area we're in. I thought it was relevant to what we're talking about. But we'll see what happens here. I'm going to delete this just so that it's easier to see. But that's what we're in right now. That's the symmetrical triangle that is being talked about in the article. That's what we're on the board. And unless we can break up out of here, we could have a scenario where we did break down, hit that inverted head and shoulders neckline, and then we'd have our fate. Are we going to come back above or below the 462 and then continue on or above? But right now, we're firmly within the pattern formation. And until we were to break down, this is still more of a bullish setup, only because of how it looks in the weekly. In the daily, it's terrible, as it's starting to break down. We've had that bearish cross, but it's not the end of the world yet because we haven't fully given this pattern back. But it's possible that in time here, we do give the pattern back. If we get a rejection here like it's showing right now, this is a bearish sign. We're back down to the 468 level. But we've just been sideways consolidating. Now, the one thing that I will caution everybody with is that US dollar is tanking. Absolutely imploding. It's down to 100.55. And this would be good for risk-on assets like crypto. So crypto could be just doing a quick consolidation here, and then we could actually have a further move up. 21 people watching. I greatly appreciate that. 12 likes. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button, as it will greatly help push the content. I greatly do appreciate everybody tuning in. We've got the 100 spot 34 is just... TA is good, but it's off. XRP is testing 44 first. I disagree. How is... Well, thank you. We can't test 44 cents, which is the inverted head and shoulders, until we get past the symmetrical triangle. So, you know, but everybody does their own technical analysis, their own little way. What do I know? Bitcoin is still in the exact same formation. It's still above the channel. It's still above the CME gap. It's still trying to make a bullish handle on the cup. And if it breaks up, the target's 35,054. If it breaks down, we're down to 25,194. Well, I mean, you can't get to 33 cents until you break some trend lines, but I mean, it's all progressive. It's all progressive flow, my friend. It's all progressive flow. So that's Bitcoin. DXY biggest move since February 23rd to the downside shows panic, and the dollar is coming if it breaks 100. Yeah, the dollar is very, very close to going to die. Very, very close. So everybody should have been taking advantage in precious metals while we had the chance, while the dollar was overvalued. Now it's becoming devalued right now, and it should. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Now, the one thing that's going to be interesting for all these markets is if we do get a pause. Like, is it over now? Is the government going to stop raising rates for all eternity now? That's going to be the interesting part. If it is, crypto is going to set up. But right now, I don't think this is a coincidence. This seems to me more of a liquidity dump. Now that the dollar's dumping, we got this dumping. But if this plays true, we've got a steady decline coming. It's just we can't do anything until we break the formations. 44 cents is the ultimate. It's the inverted head and shoulders neckline. Can't get past there until we break the symmetrical triangle. You break that, then we can come down to close to the 2020 uptrend, which is approaching 37 cents right now, which is what this area is alluding to. But that is still set up. This is set up for a big... There is Fantasyland YouTube channels and there is real life. Isn't that the truth? Russia launched CBDC 1st of August for internal use on Master Chain. But using Ripple Network thereafter, whoop whoop, it's coming, guys and girls. In time it's gonna. In time it will. Hey, I love Sundays. Hey, you know, I do what I do. I just give out what I see. I'm not looking for praise. I'm also not looking for, you know, anything special. I just put the content out for historical record, and I've been doing it since 2021, you know, and I always say it's time tested because you can go back in the content and it's all there. So that's what I see there for XRP and Bitcoin. I mean, total crypto market cap is rolling over as well. But it hasn't broke down anywhere. We're still in the same kind of formation as Bitcoin. Exact same kind. I mean, we're still in a bull flag type setup. And unless we break down this formation at 113, I still think 1139 is a big area. Until it breaks that down in the daily, we've still got a little bit of hope. But in the 4-hourly, as we talked about yesterday, we were starting to give some of this back. And now that we started that bearish cross, I know it reversed slowly earlier. But if this reverses down, this is a pretty big fall. But right now, we talk about it almost in the bull flag setting, even though it looks like it could break down. Until it breaks down, we have to at least pay attention to the top side potential. But at the same time, if it breaks down, we know we'll get a rejection at 1139, and that's going to be a very, very, very bearish signal. Not really focusing too much on that today, though. I mean, I do the content based on the audience. So today it's a little slower. But I mean, the chart's been in a very big consolidated phase, so I can understand that. If we go down to the USDT chart, just because I like to put a bunch of stuff on different charts just so it doesn't get crowded. This is where I've been focusing on the weekly time frame. John, welcome in, my brother. Hope you're doing well. That's where we've been focusing on the weekly. And I have different things drawn and everything, but this is specifically, we're trying to see if we do have a weekly cross for the first time since, here, let me get into the weekly. We're trying to see if we get a bullish cross in the weekly for the first time since 2017. So it's funny, we have a bearish cross in the daily. We're trying to we were trying to hold the 20-day and the 4-hourly, which we got rejected, which we figured we would because the daily time frame is showing a very bearish signal. But at the same time, We need these to bust. If this busts, we can come down. And 33, you're saying 33 cents, 33,238 is the ultimate level. If we can break through here to see if it's, well, might as well just say 33 cents. But if it's going to break down farther, if it gets through that area, we know we're coming back to 2020. Yep. Indeed. Indeed. Now, you know, it is below the 50 in the 4-hourly. Well, I mean, it is below it in the daily. Let's see where we're at. I know the daily, we just had the, we tried to hold and we got rejected poorly. This is all signs that a retest, consolidation, it's continuing. But like I've talked about for a very long time, that's a grander bear flag. So unless we can gain some positive momentum and break out, the odds are not in our favor if we were to break down. A breakdown here would be catastrophic. Especially if we lost the inverted head and shoulders neckline. We lose that, we can all but guarantee an 18% drop. Maybe a little bit more. You're holding the 2026 to see what happens. Set it, forget it. I love the chart work findings, how to work. Finding out how it works. We seem to... Yeah, we need to... Well, the first layer... The reason why 471 is so important is that would have been in the 4-hour time frame. We could have started getting back on top. Now it's down, it even moved up a little higher, but when we were talking about it, we were trying to hold it back here at 4.7 and try to get over, then try to hold it on the reverse back around, but it's a work in progress though. The patterns aren't looking all that great. There is some hope in the weekly, but as far as the daily, if this pattern wants to come through for XRP, we're very bearish. This is very bearish. The only thing not bearish is we're in the symmetrical triangle, which you can get a breakout, but just as easily you can get a dump down, which right now the indicators are starting to flash in a bearish direction. So XRP needs some volume. Don't get any of this twisted. We need some volume. And if we break that, I know we're coming down. And like, that's why I've had this drawn out. Let's just say we do this, we come down, get a retest, and come through. I mean, there's a chance that it's a slippery slope all the way down. That's why that's drawn like that. And if you do get a slippery slope, I mean, shit. Now, for me, this is the accumulation phase, as I've said for XRP many times. I'm not looking to sell it. The only thing I'm looking for is if it gets 20% below my average buy-in right now, which is at like 346, and I'm going to continue buying more. So every 20% it goes down from where I bought, I'm buying 2,000 tokens. After a certain point, it's going to get to a level where I buy a lot more than 2,000 tokens because it's going to be way cheaper. So, but you know, that remains to be seen if and when that happens. But I'm doing my due diligence because I didn't own XRP for over a year and a half after selling out at $1.66 with some good profits after a 47-cent average. You know, but I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and now it's time to capitalize, you know, and it's just one of those things. No. No, it hasn't. I love Sundays. I call it the big capitulation. It hasn't happened yet, but it is my hope and my optimism that we're going to get to that sub 20 cents and we're going to be able to pack these things way, way tighter and have a way bigger bag. And not just XRP, I'm talking around the board. So I keep saying, if you bought in around where I did and you've been doing it the way I am, just make sure you have that Faraday bag, as I call it. That storage bag. So when we do finally have that big dump down, you know, you don't have to worry about the exchange going down. You don't have to worry about all this stuff. At least you'll own. Because what's the biggest bitch going to be? Even if the exchange is there forever, like I have no problem with the upholder FEMX thinking it's going to be there. But what if at that point, when it has that big drop, all of a sudden it says, oh, we're having maintenance, or up, you know, there's too much activity, up, there's a plus 30% differential because of the activity. Oh, trust me, I've seen it all on the crypto exchanges. When there's a serious dive, they'll do all the stuff they can possibly do. No, and I've been saying for a long time as well, yes, I love Sundays. It's a distinct possibility that XRP, it's going to look not good in the beginning, or Ripple, I should say, with the case versus the SEC. But they're not going to lose outright. What you could see is some kind of settlement where they got to pay fines or whatever. But Something's going to happen. Eventually, we're going to get our answer. But right now, it's the mindset, everybody. It's the mindset. It's the mindset. You got to stay positive and you got to have a plan for this whole thing through. I always tell everybody, if the mainstream is telling you it's going up, it's not going up. If the mainstream keeps telling us it's going down, it's not going down. The mainstream told us not to accumulate the first time around because crypto was bad. After telling us for 2 years to buy on the way down. Isn't that funny how that worked? So, you've got to make your own decisions. Like I always say, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm showing you exactly what I do on an everyday basis. So, there's not very many people that will be as blatant and show you exactly what they're doing. I will, because that's what works for me. Gives me my content. No, and that's the thing, though, everybody. Even if here, let me. We understand the charts. I'm not doing a big chart day today. I'd rather talk to everybody. But as we know, with XRP, if Ripple loses the case, all they're going to do, they've already got leniency on the XRP ledger to where they can use a different token for the USA. So they'll, take out the XRP token in the USA. They'll use something else, whatever the government allows them to. But they've already said no less than 50% of the transactions, even in this scenario, it would be 50% minimum would still be covered by the XRP token. So it's not going to have very much effect. Just because the USA, yeah, you could have a big deep dive down, and you could have a huge part of the United States of America that won't buy XRP or think they can't own it. But the rest of the world still uses it. The utility is there. That's the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing. There's so much optimism, but there's also so much negativity surrounding it. So much. Exchanges will go bankrupt. Certain exchanges will go bankrupt. You're still going to have the Web3 enabled exchanges. See, after all, this is what everybody forgets. In order to move a digital asset, you're going to have a way for the general populace to buy the digital asset. Just like the stock market. I heard this in the 90s, early 2000s, mid 2010. They're going to shut it all down, but you have to have a way to trade your funds. Have to have a way to trade the exchange. But that's also why we say make sure you have your precious metals. So, I think we got through everything here today. 37 people watching, 29 likes. I greatly appreciate that. Any other questions today? This is going to be a shorter than usual one because dealing with a lot of stuff today. A little sore. Got Julie's mom here, but still want to do the diligence. No. Agree. I love Sundays. Agree. 10,000 HByte, 10,000 Digibyte, then going to 1 million on Reef. The gold, silver. Interesting. Interesting. It is truly connected, everybody. And thank you, everybody who tuned in today. And I'll catch you tomorrow at around 3:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.